All right. Hello, my name is Christopher Ortega, and I am trying to synthesize this assignment into my personal identity story video. So, first things first, I think the biggest thing that I realized is how much of an impact that having a large family has had on me. I think one of the things that, you don't really see how large someone's family is, but from a very young age, that has influenced the way that I've acted and interacted with people. So, oldest of five siblings, and that has really kind of taught me that, when something has to get done, you have to get organized. We all played a lot of sports and had a lot of activities, so we were very blessed in that way. Um, and being the oldest of five, getting my sisters all running and going, making sure that we were in the car at the right time, something that I always tried to help with, as well as trying to be out of the way, which had its ups and downs. We all did play sports, as I mentioned, which also taught me a lot about teamwork and being responsible and being in place so that way the team can function. Um, yeah, in college, that kind of teamwork and being reliable for my peers continued on as I was a resident assistant. So I was there for anyone who had any sort of issues transitioning to college, and was there to kind of support them in their social emotional journey through college. So did a lot of training about things that you learn possibly outside the classroom in college. So the getting along with your roommate and being able to identify your own feelings and trying to imagine yourself in someone else's shoes and how your actions might affect another person. So, a lot of the things that we are learning in this course, which has been great, it makes me feel very happy that there is this learning that's actually prescribed for the social emotional learning. Yeah, I think another thing that I realize that really affects me is music, for my own personal moods and for my kind of how I'm feeling, but also how it can change the mood of other people and bring people together. So, yeah, it's also some of kind of the surface level stuff for my cultural iceberg, my unconscious rules or unspoken rules, is trying to be courteous, not, again, being in that big family, not trying to override everyone else because there's a lot of different inputs and a lot of different views for what would be the best way to do something. So trying to get all that together and then synthesizing that together. Um, yeah, some stereotypes that I have internalized, maybe some biases that I have that can be hidden sometimes, that we looked at in those hidden biasy tests. I did the one for women in science because I'm looking to be a science teacher. So just kind of wanted to, examine that. I thought that was a cool thing to have. Um, I do have a slight bias towards females in liberal arts and males in the sciences. And I think that's something that I've realized about myself before this assignment, but it is nice to see that, I guess, that it's not huge. There's not that strong automatic association. Um, and looking to examine why that might be is important. Whether that's the fact that I think men or women would be better in science or liberal arts, or the fact that students in my science classroom, um, think that they would be more successful or not be successful, for like how hard they would want to try. And if they see themselves as being successful, then they are more willing to um, be successful, I guess, in the sense of put in a little bit extra work, know that they can do it and have that motivation and not just give up right away. So making sure that that is not a hidden bias, something that I can kind of think about of kind of where the students are coming from and their culture, their assets, and their family values of who they are. So I'm trying to show how I think about it and also bring this thought process of having in hidden biases to my students to make that revealed for them so that way they can really reimagine or just examine and hopefully see themselves as successful in science, especially in my science classroom. Um, yeah, also realizing, there's lots of different brain learner profiles. I am huge into pattern recognition and visuals. As I've been doing some of my lessons, I realize that if I have a picture up on the board, that is there, I can look at it and do talk about everything about it. Whereas if a student asks a question and it's completely verbal, I have a hard time processing. So I'll have to like look at it and then actually go over to whatever they're reading, read the question for myself, um, and then be able to answer it more efficiently. So those are just a couple of things that I have learned from this assignment. I'm very excited and looking forward to going even deeper. All right. Have a good one.